Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and we're back in the car because we're going back on tour. We're starting the year off with a bang. Again, we're recording in 4K 60 frames a second. Here is Sasha. He picked me up.
How you doing?
So Sasha, thanks again. So Sasha's picked me up, and we're gonna head to, if I'm not mistaken, the Universal Arcade, which is Patrick and Samuel's arcade. Now, here's the interesting part about this. 2 years ago, I actually filmed this already. I was invited to their home. They have an arcade party. And now things are settling down for the new year, and I was going to release it, but YouTube gave me a strike, or a pre-strike, because there was music in the background from an artist in the 80s, and it said if you record the music I have to get funding. It was a whole problem. So I had to delete the videos, and I was gonna reshoot it. A blessing in disguise, because Sasha told me no, their arcade is grown exponentially, and I've talked to Patrick and Samuel about a month ago, and they told me, yeah, come over, we'll invite you, and it's going to be better than ever. So I'm a little excited here because apparently they have a lot of arcade machines that I've never seen before, and then also are super rare, and it should be a fun day. So I brought my cigars if they allow us to smoke. I brought some tequila like they said, and again, Sasha says be prepared to see games you've never seen before. So I'm excited, and let's check out again the Universal Arcade from Patrick and Samuel. All right, so it's been a few hours actually, and a lot of people have left. There's only a couple of us left, and we finally got a chance to slow things down and speak to Samuel, who's one of the partners that owns this arcade. The other one is Patrick, but he's under the weather. He went to bed early. They call it the Bearcade. So as you can see, really cool artwork. Also has a slide door from the Universal games. We'll get to the arcade in a moment. There's Sasha there. But hey Samuel, how you doing?
Hey there. Good.
Good man, cool. So again, thanks for the invite. It's been really fun. And if you can be so kind, and we'll start off if you can show us in this room.
Sure. And this is basically just the workshop.
And a little overflow in one right now. Right?
So this is where we have just like a lot of projects.
Why don't we go through it? Sure. So here's Miss Pac Cabaret. What's the plans with this?
It's going to remain a Miss Pac-Man, so it's just being restored.
Okay.
Miss Pac-Man Cabaret, same thing with the Miss Command. Yeah, that's just being restored as a Miss Command.
And so you have some modern gaming as well?
Yeah.
Which is good.
And then other, projects in various states. So it's Cheeky Mouse from Universal. Ladybug, which actually is fully functional, restored now. And
what game is this?
This is Quasar.
I've heard of this.
It was made by Zaccaria. They were primarily a pinball.
Yeah, that's right. They did Farfalla, and yeah, that's right. I remember this.
Yeah, so in the early '80s, they did a handful of arcade games as well. So they were mainly common North American games that were relicensed to them.
Oh, I see.
To sell in Italy.
Is this one up and running? What's the status of this?
There's problems with the board, but apart from that, it's all original and
looks cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Good. But they did everything like we would normally see, like the Pac-Mans and Amadors and all those sort of things. They just designed their own cabinets and art around it.
Oh, okay. And then behind us, I know there's a few monitors, artwork. What's this cocktail here?
So it's Universal Cosmic Monsters.
Nice.
And it's fully functional, but cocktails take up space, so right now it's our end table.
Fair enough. This is interesting. You're actually using this pinball table, actually coffee table. Is that right? This is an EM.
Yeah.
Do you know which EM this is?
I believe it was called Lucky Lady.
Okay. Where's the head?
So the head and the legs we just put in storage.
Okay.
And so that we could use the base as a.
Is it working there, or is it not?
No, it needs a lot of repair.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
That's why we got it cheap and cheerful to use as a coffee table.
Now I know a little history. So I remember I was when Sasha had us over. He gave you this Mega Touch, but you've now converted it. So let me move over. Can you explain what you've done here? Because this is really neat.
Yeah. So I guess basically the reason why this is here, we got this Mega Touch and didn't know what to do with it, so we converted it to an all-in-one test station for our PCB.
Like a super gun almost.
Yeah, basically like a super gun.
Yeah.
So we have the normal well-squadron monitor, just power switch, and then 3 voltmeters that tell us what our board voltages are. The 5 volt, the 12 volt, and the -5.
That's cool. Different colors too, yeah?
Yeah, and that they're actually the colors that match the colors of the wires.
That's really
on a
cool,
typical
man.
harness.
That's cool.
Credit button.
Yeah.
And then a functional joystick from a cocktail, and then 3 fire buttons and a player 1 button.
So then that's shot 1, 2, 3, and then
player 1.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and obviously whether the game's vertical or horizontal may affect the direction you're steering, but this is just for the purpose of testing a board anyways.
Very cool.
So it contains within it isolation transformer, the switching power supply, the monitor, and everything else you need all in one case instead of having it strewn all over the place. And at the bottom here, just have the JAMA harness extended outwards so you can plug a board on the bench.
Very, very cool. And then here's, it's kind of cool. I know you have your EEPROM reader. You are actually doing some work on reprogramming a chip, and then you have all the schematics, which is really nice and cool. And you also have 2 3D printers, which is you've utilized very well.
Yeah, I've been using them pretty much nonstop. They've really come down in price, resin 3D printers.
Right.
And they come in really handy from an arcade collector point of view because you can produce parts for things that normally you can't get anymore.
That's a great transition.
And there's also, you can come up with new uses.
Well, here's one. So this was really cool, guys. Watch this.
So I created just a mechanism on my 3D printer where you have a plunger and a housing that is designed to match up exactly with different there's different models of this. And
the coin door, right?
Well, yeah, different coin doors have completely different configurations.
Right.
And sometimes even coin doors that look exactly the same have different configurations on the backside. So I went through and, through a long period of trial and error, developed a housing for each manufacturer coin door. And then when you mount this onto your coin door, all you see is, a faux quarter sticking out of the front.
Cool.
And then once you have this across all your games, you just tell your guests, press the quarter, and they get that. It's a credit button method that anybody can understand. It's very straightforward.
And it's universal because everyone knew putting money in a coin slot.
Yeah, so you still get the action and the feeling of hitting a quarter and pushing it into the coin slot. And it's something everybody can understand, and you don't have to modify your game. It's completely reversible, and it can be done across all games universally. Because a lot of the coining up solutions you see nowadays, they involve drilling holes into games or modifying the games or something along those lines.
Right.
So this is something that you just unscrew the coin slot or the chute on the back, mount this in. You don't like it, you want to reverse it, you just put the chute back on.
Awesome.
So,
and we'll see that live, right? Because you have that on games. So let's enter the arcade if you can.
Yeah, so
Shepherdess way.
We put it on every one of the games.
So we can go through every game really quick, just review. So here's what it looks like. Yeah. So you would actually press it, and then it coins up.
Yeah, and so if I press it, I go.
And then, so really cool. And then this is, let's start it off. If you want to please lead the way.
Sure.
This is a Galaxy Wars.
So this entire row is from Universal.
Awesome, okay.
It's all a single manufacturer. So this is Galaxy Wars. It's one of their earlier games. You effectively just clear a missile through.
Fair enough.
Asteroids and shots. Similar to a Space Invaders type thing, but actually pretty fun to play.
Next is a jumping jack.
Yeah, it's jumping jack. You get a credit on it.
Really cool.
And on this game, you're this little safari guy, and you have to jump from place to place through to the end of.
Fair enough.
The monkeys can kill you.
Yeah. Next is a Mr. Do.
Fairly well known as Mr. Do.
Beautiful cab.
Now, Mr. Do is one of the first kit games.
Okay.
So they sold tons of Mr. Do boards.
Right.
As kits. And that's why you'll see the boards everywhere nowadays. The boards themselves are a dime a dozen. But to find one in its original Universal cabinet is, you know, where it becomes more rare.
Cool. Next is a ladybug.
Ladybug. So, you know, my ladybug. The both Mr. Do and Ladybug actually in the early '80s were ported to the ColecoVision.
Right.
So that's actually, as a kid, how I knew these games. I didn't know there was an actual full-size arcade cabinet behind you.
Very cool.
Which is odd because, you know, the full-size, the upright arcade is on the box of the ColecoVision game.
Oh, that's cool.
But somehow I didn't clue into that. So.
It's okay.
And this joystick here, which appears in the manual, is actually entirely plastic.
Oh, wow.
For some reason, for Ladybug, Universal designed a joystick that was entirely plastic and just held together by a nut on the end of the joystick shaft. I'll show you here.
Oh, wow.
So the whole housing is designed to have either 4 or 8 leaf switches inserted into it.
Huh.
Only the joystick shaft is metal and there's a couple of washers. So all the rest of the housing fits together without any glue or fasteners or anything.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very cool. Next is a Mr. Do Wild Ride.
Yeah, Mr. Do's Wild Ride. In this game, you're a clown on roller coaster tracks, trying to avoid getting run over.
Fair enough.
You can climb ladders and dodge oncoming roller coasters, which is a lot harder than it seems. After a while, you can figure out the patterns and be able to complete them. But I generally can't get past level 4 on this.
We'll keep it going.
Yeah.
Next is Space Raider. Very cool.
This is another, from 1982, from Universal. Strangely though, it kind of plays like an earlier space shooter.
Right.
But yeah, it's really tough because you can only move left and right, but it's still fun.
I know the marquee's out, but no big deal.
Yeah,
This is Snapshot.
Snapjack, that's
It's down right now?
at the moment. I'm just fixing the board on the back.
Oh, that's what you're fixing?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the board I was fixing.
See, it's getting loud.
This is Dynamite.
This is Dynamite.
And this is Dynamite. You're this lady who picks up sticks of dynamite and tries to blow up monsters with it. So I can drop this stick of dynamite. Oh, and see, I blew up the monster.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And the monsters, you know, can kill you. They can roll rocks at you, like that.
Cool. Next is Cosmic Alien.
Cosmic Alien. Again, a very basic rip-off of Blackstone.
Right.
And, you know, most bootleg / rip-offs of these games were kind of crappy. Cosmic Alien is actually not that bad. It was actually fun to play.
Cool artwork, though. Really
Yeah,
neat.
they all had amazing artwork. And initially, Universal decorated the entire cabinet.
Right.
So the sides, the front, the bezel, the back glass, everything had
It was just
characters
artwork.
drawn on it.
Cool.
As time went on, they went to more of a generic cabinet, like you see next to
Right.
it.
Maybe saving money and everything else, right?
Yeah, so the common striped
You got it.
3-stripe cabinet, the little CD looking thing in the background. They kind of went to all their games having that.
Next is, what's 0 Hour?
Yeah, this is another really early one. This one's a bit tricky because it looks like the objective is to blow up the asteroids. It's really not. It's to get through to these spaceships at the top when their shields are down.
Right.
And once you get through to them, then they come down and attack you. If you can then kill all 9 of them, which they're starting to do now. What's in this game is available, like the ROMs are available in main, but there's no sound with them.
Oh, really?
So, I've recorded the sound from this one, because this is the only note board I know of. So I've recorded all the sounds as wave samples, and hopefully the main developers can somehow use that as samples in the main version of this.
Very cool.
Without the sound, it kind of sucks to play.
Oh, of course.
So there, see, so I've killed all 9 of those spaceships, and then you still don't really get much points until you can land your ship back on the base. The first time it's not too bad because it's stationary, and later levels it moves around just to mess you up.
Nice.
Yeah, so now I get the bonus. That's where you get all the points. So
Very cool.
You have to complete the entire level, or you basically get nothing.
Wow, cool, man. Let's keep it going here.
Yep.
So Gorfy said it is a cabaret is down.
Yep. It's got a power supply issue. So
Okay.
something we're fixing.
Right. Dig Dub Cabaret.
Yep. We've really taken to the cabarets. We like them because they take up a lot less space.
Makes sense.
You fit more in there.
If you want, yeah,
to
sure. If you want to lead me in, that's
Sure.
great. This is the Wacko, which I love. Wacko Cab. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So, excuse me. So this is Wacko. It's basically a matching game where you have to shoot pairs of monsters that are coming at you. It has a really unusual cabinet in that it's all built on an angle.
Right, which is cool, yeah.
As rare as this game is, coincidentally, there are three of us collectors in Hamilton that have this game.
Plus Sasha has it as well, right?
Yeah, so he's one of them. So
Fair
Sasha,
enough.
myself, and another collector here in Hamilton, all have it.
Cool. Galaga Cabaret, which
Yep.
we know. We don't have to really get into that. That's just Galaga. Looks beautiful, though.
Yeah, just a mini Galaga. Asher Blaster again, have power supply failures. It's one of those old games that are tough to keep running. But I believe it was one of the early ones to use full synthesized voice. So Patrick loves it for that. A couple of Nintendos. We have Donkey Kong Jr.
These ones we don't. Yeah, everybody knows these. They're iconic. Beautiful,
Yeah.
though. Beautiful games.
And see all of them. Even this one
Yeah, they have the coin.
have the coin
Very cool.
mechanisms.
Which one is here?
This is a Wizard of War Cabaret.
Nice.
This one again is a giant pain in the butt to keep running because the board stack that's involved. But when you do get it running, it's a lot of fun.
Huh. Very cool. We'll keep it going. This one, I've never. There's a lot of games I haven't heard. This one,
So
Beastie Feasty.
Yeah, I can explain. So this was actually our first game is Pac-Man,
Okay.
and what we have done is just installed a Beastie Feasty kit into a Pac-Man. So Beastie Feasty was just a modification. Is a hack of Pac-Man.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's just they used the Pac-Man hardware to develop another game. So it ran in the Pac-Man cabinets, it ran in the Pac-Man hardware. So we felt it is appropriate to have it in the Pac-Man cabinet because even though it is a hack of Pac-Man, just like Miss Pac-Man was, it's actually a really good game. Like you have 2 buttons available to you. So
What is that? A blob?
yeah, so you're this little blob, and you want to eat all the fruit. Now I'm stuck on this level, so what I can do is I can actually call the elevator, and it'll come down to me,
Cool.
and take it to whatever floor I want. And then the other thing I can do is if the monster gets too close to me, I can stick myself to the ceiling.
That's really cool. And jump on them?
Yeah, so I can. Yeah, and if I land on him, I kill him. He comes back pretty quickly. So it's actually a really fun game.
It looks. I want to try it.
Even though it's like a bootleg hack.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's go behind us. Rally X Cabaret.
Yes.
This looks nice.
Yeah, we were really lucky we found it in this shape. We didn't have to do anything to it.
Very good. Next again is you call it C-Pac. Is this crack or what is?
Yeah,
Is this
it's
Pac-Man?
Pac-Man. So this again was one of the earlier games we restored.
Right.
This has
it is the speed up
has
chip.
a speed up chip that everybody knows about.
Yeah.
And at the time I was just learning how to use Illustrator. So one of the things I did to kind of teach myself Illustrator is I changed the
The marquee. That's
marquee
cool.
from Pac-Man to Miss Crackman.
That's funny.
We have one extra Universal game.
This
here.
game, the artwork on this is cool, man.
Yeah.
Cosmic Gorilla.
Cosmic Gorilla. This one,
It's like Space Invaders. Yeah, it definitely is.
the sounds are a direct rip-off of Space Invaders. Same principle too with the shield, and the only difference is they come in from the two sides.
Huh.
And they try to steal your ships in the middle. Not a fantastic gameplay.
But it's unique though.
But it's one of the earliest.
It is cool. Look at the cool artwork though, I have to
it still
admit.
has amazing side art and everything to it.
And then this one is the Pac-Man Cabaret.
Yeah, and we use
Straight up.
different Pac-Mans, including Pac-Man Jr.
And then right behind us is your talk. This is one feature you had about your 3D printer. So you have your scores here on this corkboard, pegboard. Yeah. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so there was no real, kind of like with the coin up thing.
Right.
There was no universal way to keep your high scores. There's high score saves and a bunch of other solutions, but it's impossible to do it for all of your games.
Right.
So the only way we could for sure track all of our high scores was to write them down basically, and the way we did that is put up a pegboard and 3D printed a bunch of letters to stick in it.
Huh. All right, let's lead us into the second part. So here is, you said this is something you've created, right? It's
Yeah, this is something we made up. It's a Zookeeper Cabaret.
Really cool.
We took the original art and modified it a bit, and to fit with the Cabaret. The monitor has been a bit wonky on us, so we're not playing that one today.
Fair enough. And then there's Asteroids Cabaret as well. Next, now I'm going to, I'll cut to this after we do this part of the review of us, Sasha and Patrick, actually putting this side art on. This is a, what's it called? This is a reflective, type of unique side art. It's really cool. You can see my light shining right off. It looks really nice. So this is going to be a Robotron then, right? Let me just get in here.
Yeah, so it's a blue chrome vinyl wrap. It's actually the same vinyl wrap they use on cars.
Huh.
And then we had our friends at the print shop inlay the black, chrome, and red car wrap into it using the vectors.
So cool. And I'll cut to this right after this part of the video, and you guys will see it.
This is a couple of the vectors.
So here's Sasha. Hey Sasha, what's up? Playing Asteroids. Same old. Great game.
Always miss hyper.
Next is a Space Duel. This is a vector monitor, right? Yeah. Vector, one that's more known. Black Widow, something again that's known. Damn it. Very nice. This is a Carnival. This is the first time I've seen the stand-up of this.
Yeah, Carnival again is a really basic game, but really fun.
I like it. I think it's really cool.
It's surprisingly fun.
Pengo.
Yeah, it's a pretty common one.
Now this is a jewel. So talk to me about this. This is a Japanese MAPPY. Is it one of two in the world?
That I know of, yes. So Namco, obviously was the developer for a lot of the most popular games in the 80s.
Right.
Pac-Man, Dig Dug, everything you can think of. Galaxy and Galaga. And you can find examples of the Namco version of those cabinets in a lot of different places. There's even little miniature 1/12 scale models of them.
Right.
But then I thought, MAPPY again, I had a MAPPY Namco PCB, so I figured they must have had a cabinet for it. And
Right.
I found out they actually did. There's an example of it in a museum in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So based on, photos and information and sketches that we got from that museum in Japan, we were able to replicate it here in Canada.
That's awesome. Very cool, man. Let's keep it going. Nibbler, this is very common. Well, we know about this game. They did the documentary on it, Man vs. Snake, wasn't it?
Yeah, love playing that game.
Very common.
And
Eyes.
Yeah, another Rockola. Yeah, we got this before Nibbler and didn't think it would be that much fun, but it's, again, actually a really good game to play. The gameplay's amazing.
Very cool. Hey Matt, what's up? We're just recording. This is a new cab you just picked up. A rare, it's a hard one to find, a Space Dungeon in the original Tato cab. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And in my understanding is this is the dual stick that preceded Robotron, is it not?
It definitely plays the same way as Robotron.
Really?
I don't really know a lot of history behind it.
Fair enough.
The marquee is obviously needs to be replaced.
Right.
But
what a awesome! I want one of these cabs to be my Arkanoid one day, but we'll see. kicks. Not necessarily yours, but I'm just saying in general.
Well, don't ruin the space dungeon, whatever you do.
I know. Everybody's telling me I'm crazy. This is a kicks.
Yeah.
Original cab, right?
Yeah, a couple more Tato games that are pretty common.
Jungle King.
Jungle King.
This is in the green version. This Sasha has this as well. Beautiful.
And now some Gottliebs.
So this is the q-bert. Beautiful. Now tell me a little about this, Sammy. So it says to Patrick from, or who is this?
Lee.
So tell me about this. You told. Oh, what happened here? All right. So tell me a little bit of history. Tell me if I'm blinding you here. So I asked who that is, and this is the creator of the game.
Yeah. So he was the creator of q-bert. He designed all the original artwork for it, and the characters themselves, the various characters in q-bert. We got to meet him at a show in Milwaukee, and he had a bunch of amazing stories about the development of it. Certain things like the character of Sam, the green blob guy.
Right.
He was supposed to be the primary character.
Right.
q-bert, I asked him why he has this little shooter at the front of his nose, for a nose, if he doesn't use it.
Right.
And he explained to me that he actually was supposed to use it.
Right.
He was supposed to shoot boogers out of his nose.
Oh, wow.
But for some reason, I got nixed.
Right.
And then the other thing I found interesting was he explained the name itself.
Right.
So they had this as the name initially, but I'm going to try and get the story straight. I think there was a complication with trying to list it in video game catalogs, this name.
Because alphabetically it'd be all weird.
Yeah, so the idea was that the game was going to be, the main character was actually going to be called q-bert.
With an H.
Yeah, q-bert.
Right.
But to, I guess, have a, double meaning to the name, since it's based on a cube platform.
Right.
They were going to then change the name to q-bert, as in C-U-B-E-R-T. But this was in Chicago, and they were concerned at the time that people would mix it up with Cubs and call it Cupboard because of the Chicago Cubs.
Right.
So they then changed it further to the letter Q, star Bert. So that there would be no confusion over how it was pronounced. So yeah, Jeff Lee was, you can run into him sometimes at arcade shows. Amazing man to talk to, has all kinds of history behind him in the development of arcade games. And yeah, q-bert's one of his better known ones.
Cool. Let's keep it going. Juno first.
Yeah, Juno first, another Gottlieb game. We recently restored this. It's, a game we'd never heard of originally, but once you do play it, it's really fun to play. So we're really big on the idea of, if we're going to have a game taking up space in the arcade, it's got to be fun to play.
Makes sense.
Or we just don't bother with it.
Right, makes sense. Next is very common but a great game, Williams Defender.
Yep, Defender.
Great game. Beside it is a Tempest. Is this working? What's up with this one?
It is working. Patrick has it on a separate power supply because with all vector games, there's, cautious about the number of times they turn it on and off.
Smart. Here's just overflow. What's this?
This down here is a what's called a trim line. So it's kind of a cross between a cabaret and a
stand-up
cocktail.
Right? Oh, cool. Oh.
But yeah, it's meant to be played standing up, and this particular one has 2 games in it. Head On and Invinso. And they both work, ironically, on this. When we found it, it just worked straight up. There's a bit of a problem with the power supply now we got to fix, so it still works.
What's this little cabaret here?
Oh, that's a Tetris.
Oh, nice.
Again,
similar to Sasha's, right?
Yes, exactly like Sasha's. There was only 150 of them made. I have 119 and he has 115 or something.
That's cool.
So again, within Canada, we have two of the 150 that were originally made.
Very cool.
That's going to be a future project.
Back there is Space Invaders.
Yeah, some of our projects are blocking some of the functional games.
That's okay.
There's,
and then
there's a Space Ace.
Space Ace, yeah. And then beside it is a Dragon's Lair. And then right in front of me here is the Joust, right?
Yeah, so there's a joust we're working on and a second space cosmic alien.
Look how awesome that side art is.
Yeah,
Isn't that fantastic?
you weren't able to see it on the other one.
Wow, that's what game is this? Cosmic.
Cosmic Alien. So we actually saw it in the Universal.
Really cool, man.
Yeah, this is what the side art looks like.
Fucking awesome! Look at that.
Yeah, you can almost get a tattoo of that. It's pretty.
It is. That's dope.
Yeah.
And then this is your virtual pin, right?
Yeah. So I'm upgrading the PC on it. It was originally a Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah.
The story is it was empty to begin with. They found it in the factory when the factory closed.
Wow.
So it was never really a Star Wars Episode 1.
Nice. So nothing went to waste, which is great.
No pinball got trashed for it, but
It's a good donor cab. Good.
yeah. So I'm in the process of. It was working really well, but the PC was kind of crappy and crashed a lot. So I'm gonna put a better gaming PC into it.
Makes sense. Lastly, we almost. You know what I was gonna ask you? Okay. As an enthusiast, you told me really quick about what you were told. So, John's Arcade and John did a video years ago about a prototype q-bert, which this gentleman here has almost debunked it.
Well,
what's up with that?
So basically, I brought up a photo of this prototype q-bert, and he didn't recognize it. He said it was not his artwork and knew nothing about it. So I don't know what that means for the status of that cabinet that they found. Maybe it was someone else that drew the artwork, or I don't know what the history is. But the original creator had no knowledge of it.
And he said that apparently the one... Now, John's great, and he's been a great enthusiast in the hobby and leader in a lot of this, but the one that shows in the video shows because this one is originally 3 toes, where the one in the video is not, or something?
Well, yeah, there's a number of characteristics of his drawings of q-bert that he can easily identify because it's his art.
Right.
And he said that the hand-drawn marquee on that cabinet was not his drawing.
Really? So that might have been just another enthusiast doing that's not really prototype then, right?
I have no idea what that means. You know, nobody knows what that means for the other one. It just, he didn't.
But the original creator did not understand it. Yeah, that was interesting.
Did not recognize. He said it was not his own drawing. That's all we really know.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. So when do we get to the other room? I want to sit down with you for a few minutes and let you know how you got started in this crazy hobby if you're cool with it. So we'll be back and let's interview Samuel. All right, so Sasha and Patrick have just applied the custom Robotron side art, and here's them peeling it off so we can see it.
So what we did earlier was put a satin chrome blue finish vinyl on the sides.
Right.
And now Patrick and Sam did this custom Robotron side art where, since this was kind of a flat chrome,
right,
the actual side art with the image is all chrome. So it stands out from the actual matte chrome of the blue.
And not only is the metal part chrome, but the red and the black is too, right?
Yes.
Very neat. Very cool. That's really, really neat.
Oh man.
And this is the first side, right? You haven't done the other yet?
Done the other side yet.
So we're just going to copy the measurements from the other side, but we looked at an original cabinet and we eyeballed where the art's got to go, but
right.
I mean, there's not much of an error because
I'm not totally sure.
the striping on the side it basically puts you where you need to go.
Really sharp. Yeah, look at those nice colors. Very, very nice colors. Almost. Yeah, that's really cool.
So because this is layered on layered vinyl,
right?
These little spots here, you just got to press it down by hand. And just kind of going over it because it's overlapping. So, but generally, it actually adhered really, really well. It looks
wow,
good.
that looks great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, cool.
High five.
Ooh, first side done.
All right, I'll be back. All right, Samuel. So we've just took in a few minutes just to sit down and more get to know you. I know Patrick wanted to be in the video. Who's your partner?
Yeah.
Both about he's a great enthusiast, great guy, great chef, by the way. And thanks again for having us. How did you get started, or how did you and Patrick get started in this hobby?
It was really just 4 years ago.
Wow, that's short.
Patrick said he wanted a real Pac-Man for Christmas. So I guess it was exactly 4 years ago. Yeah, so we looked on Kijiji and found a guy in London that was selling a Pac-Man. Paid way too much for it because we didn't know what we were doing.
Over 1,000?
No, it was like 1,000. Or,
Nah, it's not bad.
yeah, I mean,
What shape was it in?
Well, it was all right. So we brought it back and we had it here in our living room and we thought, that's it. He's got a game.
Right.
The next morning, we went to turn it on. It was dead. So we had to call in a guy who is knowledgeable, but obviously pay by the hour for him to replace the PCB because it was just PCB fried.
Right.
And that's when we kind of figured out that we're going to have to learn really quickly how to fix these things.
Right.
And that just kind of started a whole slippery slope of learning about how to fix games, whether it be the woodwork or the art or the electronics, the old CRT monitors, that sort of thing. Yeah, and it just kind of spirals from there.
Interesting. So then that was your first game, Miss Pac. As far as obviously the disease, like us and all of us, it caught us, and one game turned to 5 games, turned to now. How many do you have in total? Projects and
Work
work.
always changes, but we're around 60.
Wow. Okay. What any grails that you really want that you're looking forward to getting? Just a few maybe that at the top of your head you would really like.
I don't know. Like I was the person who was really fixated on collecting Universal games. And
Right.
although I found a lot of the ones that I was looking for, I can think of a part I would really like to find.
Right.
So that game right there, Cheeky Mouse.
I've never heard of that.
So it's just another early Universal games, 2-way. You're a little man with a hammer hitting mice.
Fair.
But only once in the 4 years have I seen the PCB come available.
Right.
So if I could find a PCB for Cheeky Mouse, that would probably be a great.
Really, just to get it working and up and running.
Just to get that running and up and working. Yeah.
So if just say these projects that you have and everything here we looked at the beginning, would they stay here or will you find them more in the other rooms? Find space.
This is just where we work on them.
So these would not be where they rest or play.
Everything goes in the arcade.
Really? Okay.
Fixed.
Fair enough. It's a good balance. It's a good balance.
Obviously, like any arcade collectors, we've got cabinets in the garage, cabinets all over your house, cabinets in the arcade. There's always projects, right? So.
Interesting. Huh. Anything else that's very unique that you thought maybe the viewers would like to see, or that's pretty much it? Just a couple of guys collecting, like all of us, fixing games and trying to build the most entertaining space.
Yeah, just like anybody. I think if I were to do it over again, I would do just cabarets.
Really? For more space, right?
Well, yeah, because 80s uprights obviously aren't like 90s uprights.
Oh, I know that.
They don't take up that much space.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Still space. So, what we found when we created the Zookeeper Cabaret is, even if the game you like didn't exist as a cabaret, you can just make one, right? We have the abilities now through print shops and through, this old game and everybody else out there in the support of the community to just make a game from the ground up.
Right.
So, given that, you could theoretically make any cabaret you wanted.
Right.
And if that's the case, then in a space like ours, we could have fit so many more games in there if we had just done purely cabarets.
Wow. Pinball is a little too expensive, a little too much room?
Yeah, pinball takes up a lot of space, and when every game's like close to 10 grand, that would add up really fast.
Right. So that's why you have the V pin, right?
Yeah,
to scratch the itch.
Virtual pin, just to, it's the equivalent. It's the MAME equivalent for arcade collectors, where, it allows me to play a couple of pinball machines that I enjoy playing, like Party Monsters and Pinbot and Arabian Nights and all that sort of thing. But
right.
yeah, but we're not as serious into the pinballs, so having a virtual one is enough.
Fair enough. Now, for anyone asking or maybe thinking of it, and I may as well later on, but I'm not ready. The 3D print of the coin mech coin credit that you've made, where it like replicates the quarter. You said you have different coin doors, you have different coin mechs for different doors and whatnot. Any idea when that's going to be ready, available, if anyone wants to buy it, including myself? You're going to have a website, you said, maybe?
Yeah, so it should be soon. I'm still got to put together the website. The challenge with those is you have to get the right mechanism for the right coin door.
Right.
Because even Nintendo coin doors, which look exactly alike,
from the outside.
From the outside.
Right.
If you look really closely at the coin slot, some of them are straight, some of them have a slight angle to it.
Ah.
So it's not something you would ever notice normally, but it makes a difference when it comes to the mechanism on the back.
Right.
So I have to build a website where it very clearly lays out how to select the right one. And once I have that, I've got a second 3D printer now, so I can start pumping them out.
That's awesome. And I'm telling you, I think I would want a few myself, but we haven't crossed the bridge when we get there. So, Sam, it's been a pleasure. Thanks again for sitting down and inviting us. It's been a great day. A lot of information learned, a lot of tech stuff that I've learned from yourself and other guests. I thank also Patrick, who's your partner. He's under the weather. He went to bed early. Yeah. He felt a little sick. But thanks again for checking out Top Tier. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please do so. Again, more game tours, no Top Turn tours coming up. Hopefully more pickups, and it's been a pleasure. Thanks again, and have a great night. Take care, guys. Thank you.